ngayon sa mga anomalyang flood control projects kung saan daang-daang bilyon kung hindi trilyon ang nawalang pera ng taong bayan na nailagay sa mga maleta na kung saan ito dinala, maaring siguro may mga maletang nakarating pa sa the Netherlands. Kaya kaduda-duda talaga itong naging desisyon ng ICC. At ang masakit dito, hindi katulad dito sa ating bansa, pag nagkaroon ng preliminary investigation, ang, let us say, Department of Justice, o kaya ang Ombudsman, padadalhan ng notice o summon o subpoena yung respondent para maghain ng kanyang mga counter affidavits doon sa mga complaints, allegations in the complaints para sagutin. Wala pang issuance ng warrant of arrest. Preliminary investigation pa lang yun eh. And even if there is already a findings doon sa preliminary investigation that a crime may have been committed, that's the only time na pupunta sa korte at magre-request, magpa-file ng information, then mag-request for the issuance of a warrant of arrest. At yung judge ay examinin niya ng may tindi itong mga binahaing mga ebidensya and determine the existence of probable cause. Pag may probable cause, then that's the time that they will issue a warrant of arrest. Doon sa ICC, baliktad. Ano pa lamang yun? Investigation pa lang. Determining lang whether there is a commission of a crime, a probable cause that a crime may have been committed by a person. Nag-issue na sila kagad ng warrant of arrest. And the warrant of arrest was used by the Interpol in coordination with the Philippine authorities to effect the so-called rendition, extrajudicial rendition or kidnapping of PRRD, which in our laws ay talagang yun ay hindi tugma. So yun po yung situation na yun. Itong naging desisyon, itong appeals chamber denying the defense of its right question the jurisdiction of the chamber. So, ang susunod na yan, trial na. Dito sa atin, yun would be considered a denial of due process under our constitutional law. Pero yun po yung masakit. And still, huwag natin kalimutan yung pinakamalaking usapin na gusto nilang pagtakpan yung corruption brought about by the President himself in his State of the Nation a year ago. At medyo hindi na nila yata makontrol yung narrative. At tignan natin, naging exciting itong situation na ito. At hindi natin alam kung saan ito patuloy. Well, unang-una, pasalamatan ko si Attorney Harold, Vice Mayor Speaker ng Isabela, for being with me now. Unang-una, pag-usapan natin yung pinabanggit ni Wilson about ICC. Then, sunod natin siguro mamaya yung tungkol sa impeachment. And still, huwag natin kalimutan yung pinakamalaking usapin na gusto nilang pagtakpan yung corruption brought about by the President himself in his State of the Nation a year ago. At medyo hindi na nila yata makontrol yung narrative. At tignan natin, naging exciting itong situation na ito. At hindi natin alam kung saan ito patutungo. But let us start with the International Criminal Court. Alam naman po natin na tayo naging membro ng ICC sometime in November 1, I think, of 2011, if I'm not mistaken. And then nag-withdraw tayo noong March 17, 2018 through a letter sent by the Department of Foreign Affairs to the ICC. And that, in effect, after 1 year, March 17, 2019, wala na, hindi na tayo member ng ICC. But pinagpipilitan ng ICC kasi that a party state, no, would still be under the jurisdiction of the ICC crimes that have been committed by its nationals or within its territorial jurisdiction, while the state is still a party member of ICC, can still be investigated, prosecuted, and tried, despite the fact na nag-withdraw na yung party state na yon sa ICC. At yun ang kanilang naging decision ng pre-trial chamber noong una. The decision, I think, was promulgated sometime October of 2025. Tapos inapil ito. Nagkaroon ng decision noong April of 2026 at tapos na kahapon yung some sort of a motion for reconsideration doon sa appeals chamber. Although hindi naman naging unanimous yung naging decision ng appeals chamber dito sa acquisition of jurisdiction ng ICC. Yun po yung hindi maganda dahil nawala yung significance ng primacy jurisdiction ng Pilipinas. Nabaliwala yung pagiging sovereign power ng ating bansa. And klaro naman sa Rome Statute na it is still the state concern that has primacy jurisdiction over crimes that are committed within the jurisdiction of that state if the institutions that dispense justice, like the courts, the prosecutorial arm of government, and the investigative arms of government, like NBI, police, etc., are well in place. Hindi dapat magkaroon ng jurisdiction ang ICC over all crimes that are committed here in the country, whether these are war or crimes of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, or even crimes against aggression. Ito yung apat na mga crimes na sinasabi ng Rome Statute whereby ICC can acquire jurisdiction. There is only one possible exception dyan pag pinag-usapan natin yung war of aggression. Na hindi naman yun ang kaso ni PRRD. At saka yung kanyang participation, yung term na ginamit nila, no? Indirect co-perpetrator. Hindi nga siya, principal by direct participation or principal by indispensable cooperation or by inducement. So, maliwanag talaga na talaga. Hinila nila masyado, dinaanak nila ng gusto yung gagawin para lang magkaroon sila ng poster boy doon sa ICC. Two reasons. Wala nang ibang kaso kasi yung ICC na hinahawakan ngayon kung hindi yung Duterte case na. And there are millions and millions of dollars being spent by funding states. Most of them are European states and some other Asian states. Pero after that, after the Duterte case, pag dinismiss nila ito, ano bang gagawin nila doon? How can they justify the millions of dollars they are spending for the operation of the ICC? So I think that is one motivation. That is one reason why the ICC has to do everything in order to justify its existence in the eyes of the world. Kaya meron sila masabing may ginagawa sila. Pangalawa, nakakatakot yung kanilang ginawa ngayon because they have set a precedent that has a retroactive effect in a way. Kaming mga abogado, basic yan. In every law or rule that is passed, if the law is unfavorable to the accused or person that may be tried because of alleged commission of the crime, that law or rule or decision does not have retroactive effect because that is an ex post facto law. Klaro yan, yung principle of ex post facto in our constitutional law and in the constitutional law of other countries or even in international law, it cannot be applied because any decisions, any ruling, any issuance or any law for that matter that is enacted can only have prospective application. Pero this particular case of PRRD, binigyan nila ng retroactive application yung kanilang decision to acquire jurisdiction over the person of PRRD. Despite the fact na meron nga yung tinatawag nila dyan, yung nag-withdraw tayo, 1 year na yung nakakaraan eh. Remember that the investigation was only authorized by the pre-trial chamber sometimes 2021. 2021 na nila in-authorize yung investigation. And we were no longer member of the ICC as of March 17, 2019. So 2 years thereafter pa lang nila nag-issue ng authority to investigate the alleged crime against humanity. At ito yung nakakabahala because I think this was April of 2021, if my memory serves me right, na doon nag-umpisa yung pagbigay nila ng authority sa mga investigador ng ICC, and they kept coming into the country from 2021, 2022, 2023, and up to 2024, no? Doon napabalita naman na nakipagpulong itong mga ICC investigators dito sa matataas na mga opisyal ng pamahalaan